Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hype, the live blog of hospitality and travel. Well, this is a free space where monthly we invite people to discuss about the latest trend in travel tech. Sometimes we go a little bit more deeper into specific topics that I love, such as revenue management, distribution. But sometimes we also touch something out of the box. We try always to find some interesting different way to see the industry and the opportunity for hoteliers. Today we have three guests. One is our actually friend Roxanne from sharing the latest opportunity from job offers in the hotels, especially revenue, marketing, GM, and so on. So keep an eye open because there are very interesting opening roles, but we will discuss this a little bit later. Then we have someone from Portugal. I will open the webcam soon and introduce the guest, discussing a little bit more about the Portuguese market, understanding this growing interesting country. And then we have a very first time I touch these topics in my live streaming, discussing a little bit influencers marketing. So how this it is something people discuss more and more. There's a lot of buzz around this aspect of the industry, and I would like to understand a little bit more. I discovered this interesting company. They are based in Madrid, in Spain. They operate globally, of course, and the guest will share a little bit more about this interesting way to target market and gain new customers for hotels. So let me introduce the guests. So we have here Roxanne.
Hello.
Joao and
Hello.
Patricia. So,
Hello.
afternoon, guys. How are you?
Good, very good.
Great.
So good weather
very
in
much.
Portugal today, I guess.
Right. So let's do a quick introduction. Maybe we start with you, Roxanne.
Hi, so I'm back again on behalf of Edwards and Finn. I'm really looking forward to presenting some new opportunities to you. And then also, if anybody needs any support with some of the roles that you have on recruitment at the moment, please reach out.
Joao.
Hello, I'm Joao from Hotseat Systems, which is a company 100% focused in supplying software for hospitality, known by the PMS. We have currently around 2,000 clients in 12 countries and growing. So it'll be a pleasure to talk a little bit with you and share some statistics about Portugal in the last couple of months.
Patricia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patricia, and I'm the influencer marketing director of a marketing agency based in Madrid called Mousse. And I'm here to explain what is the influencer marketing focused on hotels target. And I'm here if anybody needs anything. We work globally too. So I'm here to help whoever wants.
Fantastic. So I'm very curious to understand how travelers can influence other travelers to, drive, traffic and reservation to hotels. But let's do this. So before we step into this, because it's going to be a little bit more detailed. I know you have an interesting presentation, Patricia. We heard a lot of Portugal in the last few years, so Joao. I mean, there is nothing to explain. Portugal is a famous country, but from the traveler perspective, probably in the last, 5 years, 10 years, the growth of this market was incredible. Actually, I had the chance to be in Portugal biggest trade show BTL in Lisbon a couple of months ago. I was guest of your stand, amazing stand. Thank you so much for inviting me. But again, so we always been talking about the top destination in the world, and Europe probably was mostly driven by the attraction of cities such as London, Rome, Milan, Madrid, Paris, of course. So probably for some particular, history and dimension also of the city. But again, in the last few years, Portugal raised a huge incomes, and so I'm interested to understand a little bit more this market. And I know that Host, the company you're representing, is one of the largest provider in Portugal. So you're owning, if I'm not wrong, almost 70% of the market share. You provide different solutions, so I'm sure you know perfectly this market from the revenue distribution operational standpoint. So I'll pass the word to you at this point so you can give us more lights on Portugal, Joao.
Sure, sure. So now is the joke that I start speaking Portuguese, right? No, I'm kidding. Well, the good part of in Portuguese is that everyone speaks English, so of course, please be welcome to our country. Yeah. So regarding
You want me
what
to
is
share the
happening,
slides? Sorry, tell me when
yeah,
you
it's
want me
it's
to.
better. You can share.
But
So I just brought slides about what is happening right now in Portugal. I always believe that it's better to see some data. Well, the first slide that I just brought you is about the top commerce in terms of nationalities. There was one challenge that Portugal was facing, well, mostly during and after the pandemic, not depending only on the European citizens. It was very important for us to start to see countries like the United States being already the third country, second to third. Of course, interesting also to go a little bit more to the central of Europe with Germany, the UK, that is also very historic relationship with them. But the most important part for us, I would say that in the last couple of years, we were able to diversify a little bit the commerce. Don't forget that when we talk about Portugal, one of the most challenging part is the number of airports in the continent, because we have three main areas for travelers. We have Porto City in the north of Portugal, we have Lisbon, and we have Algarve. Very different areas, very different destinations, but we also have the islands like Azores and Madeira. So I just brought of course, the general number regarding the flights. This data that I believe that can be interesting to understand how far or how important is being for us to change or to have diversified people from different countries. The other part was also to understand how was exactly our standpoint, let's say, in terms of room nights and ADR comparing to the last time or with last year. Sorry. So we had a huge increase, almost double. Right now, our challenge, I would say, that is the airport in Lisbon, because we have been able to grow quite a lot in terms of numbers in a generic perspective of the country, and also looking for each area. I know that some areas for the foreigners can be a little bit strange, but just to explain, the first two blocks are our islands, Açores and Madeira. Açores is quite around the destination for nature. We have a lot of islands within the archipel, and it's being growing quite a lot of in terms of room nights. Not exactly a good growth in terms of ADR. Actually, it was a huge decrease. I believe that there are a lot of topics for that. Ryanair stopped to go there during this winter, so there are some challenges around. We have Madeira, well, quite booming in terms of people from England, from Germany as well, direct flights from several destinations, and of course, this is a little bit more tropical in terms of weather. Well, it's a classic destination also for not only the summer. We have Alentejo area where there is a famous area called Comporta, being more and more shiny nowadays. So I believe that is natural to have a huge increase of room nights. And I would say that with the number of properties that are appearing right now, most of them quite high end. I believe that will be interesting to see how Alentejo will be growing in the next couple of years, because it's starting to be more and more like a top destination in terms of quality. Algarve area, always traditional, for where all the people goes, especially on the summer. Of course, there is here a challenge outside. How can be this destination interesting for other times of the year? So the number of room nights increasing, the ADR as well, but the winter is still a issue for a lot of the cities within this area. And then we have Lisbon and the central part of Portugal still growing, even in my opinion, with a challenge. How can we um, make people come to Portugal and not only depending in Lisbon or on Lisbon? That is our main challenge as a country right now. Of course, all this data that I'm showing you is from a sample, so can not be 100% accurate, but it's a sample from 400 hotels from different categories, from um, uh, different regions. So I believe that's quite easy. And well, the north, where actually I'm from, north includes the Porto area, huge increase in room nights, literally the double. In terms of ADR, also quite good. So I would say that in terms of the numbers, we have been seeing good numbers, good growth. Of course, we all in Portugal are a little bit, let's say, worried about the airport in Lisbon, as I was saying several times. Right now, we see that it's quite difficult to reach, it's difficult to get more spots. The airport cannot grow much more. So I would say that is very important to diversify more and more. So to have people going to the central of the country, to the north, to the south, in different areas and different times of the year. In terms of distribution, of course, Booking and Expedia are the most important channels by far. In the last years, we have been finally seeing hotels investing in digitalizing, so invest more and more in their websites, more and more in digital marketing, more and more in solutions to promote a little bit better the hotels and get some awareness, which is very important. I guess also for the Patricia talk, because of course the influencers in that sense are getting a very important role there. But well, in saying the good words, I would say that we have everything to be a top destination the next years. I really believe. Again, we have a challenge with the airports because they are not enough, I guess, for the numbers that we want to reach. But just to give you a final idea, in the last year we were able to reach almost the 30 million people coming. Taking consideration that the population in Portugal is around 10, I guess that in terms of tourism we are doing things well. And of course, um, since we are a welcoming people outside, so people tend to enjoy a lot the restaurants, the stays. So in that sense, and of course, the level of English in the country is quite good. So I really believe that we are in a good place. And of course, as a software company, we are helping on the part of making hotels more and more digitalized in everything that we can do.
Well, now you are doing exactly the influencers trying to drive more travelers in your country. Then, Patricia, you can tell us this a little bit more in detail. But let me understand from the type of hotels
Mhm,
in each country. For example, in Italy, is very independent
mhm.
oriented type of hotels,
Yeah.
small groups, not many chain, differently from Spain, for
Mhm.
example, with large groups or UK. How structured is the type
Yeah.
of hotels in Portugal? You have an independent, which are the top chain?
Yeah, we have a huge number of independent properties, so we don't have like that big hotel chains. The biggest that we have is Pestana Group,
How many
around
properties per hour?
100
100.
properties, more or less. Yeah. Apart from that, the second biggest is Villa Galé with around 40, and all the rest are somewhere between the 3 and 4 and the 20s. So I would say that small properties, especially compared with Italy, with the Spanish property. So I would say very small in that sense. Of course, we are starting to have more investments, especially from US hotel chains. But I would say that what we are really seeing as a trend in last year were independent hotel chains being invested by international groups. So just to give you an idea, for example, one of the biggest, it was called Details, that was brought by Arrow. We have also a group called ECS that had a lot of different properties, especially resorts, that was brought by iGate. So we are seeing, I would say, a good penetration of international hotel chains. But still, the market is very independent, and the properties are not that big. So I would say that the average will be somewhere between the 80 rooms and 100 and something, no much more than that. And again, in terms of traditional hotels, we still have a lot. Okay, I would say that personally, I believe that it's very important to keep as well, a balance between the international hotel chains and the independent, because I'm always feeling that when personally I'm traveling, I'm not feeling the
Sure.
unique experience of a national hotel or a national
Yeah,
hotel chain, but
keeping the
still, it,
genuine side of the
yeah,
Portuguese hospitality. So Roxanne, we
but
need to train those
but
people. We
just
need to hire talents. We need those hotels are growing. We need to provide them good revenue managers, right?
Definitely. This is the thing that was going on in my head over here was how are you how are they finding the talent pool in Portugal for the growing sort of demand that's coming through? Do you have enough revenue managers ultimately?
See, so
Mm.
well, I think this is one of the challenge. It's not only for the Portuguese market. Finding
Yeah.
talent becoming quite hard. That's why probably AI and all those automations are somehow not replacing, but definitely covering those particular talent activity. But what are the most challenges Portuguese hoteliers are facing, Joao, from your experience? When you talk to them, which are the common challenge you are encountering?
Oh, well, for sure, HR, I will not talk that too much because Roxanne is a specialist, but I guess it's for everyone in the world right now, right? So it's not the topic. I'll say that there is a challenge here. Hotels to digitalize. Uh, I believe that there are a lot of tools right now available for that, but sometimes there is not perception of the value. So I always hear a lot the word of a cost and not the word of the investment in that sense. So I
True.
believe that one of the most challenging part is to have our hoteliers not speaking about that cost and comparing only the costs, which makes auto sometimes not being the pace of digitalization that is important. And it's something that worries more and more the middle management, so not the owners. Okay? So I would say that that's for sure one of the topics. The HR we already talked, and of course, most of them are quite concerned, as you were saying, with the power or the impact of artificial intelligence. I'll say that most of them they are still just talk about the revenue management systems and the impact. I guess that there is much more to speak, especially on the guest experience, but they are the topics that they are concerned. And of course, the last topic that they are very concerned is on the sales and marketing perspective. So how cannot be so dependent on one or two OTAs. I guess it again is transversal to all the European market, but just to give you an idea, in our sample of data, um, of course, looking only for the online reservations, 80% of the reservation in Portugal are coming from two players, Booking and Expedia, with Booking with a percentage higher than the 50s. So, well, it's
That's
crazy.
really a
Yeah,
strong focus. That's why HyperGuest is coming to Portugal now to
yeah,
help
exactly.
diversifying a little bit, the distribution.
But it's something
Patricia,
that are very concerned, to be honest.
Patricia, I'm just curious. I don't know. Have you ever been in Portugal, Patricia?
I've been in Portugal, in Madeira, and in Lisboa.
Okay, so
Yes.
now imagine you
But
are
a long time ago.
long time ago. Well, let's try to make a joke now. Imagine you are a traveler, an influencer traveler. What would you recommend to see in Portugal, at least in Madeira and the city you join?
I would recommend, well, in Madeira, I remember the nature, it's incredible. So I would recommend to make a trip with the car and see all the islands. So I would recommend to make a lot of photos and videos to get all this incredible island. I would do this.
Definitely. Actually, one of the place I have in my plan to go. I'm a surfer, not surfer. I'm a surfer lover. I like. I don't. I'm actually really bad, but I love to see those people surfing on the waves, and it's something like since I was child, dreaming I could do this, but I tried it. It's not my. And there is a very famous place in Portugal where the biggest waves comes, and all the top surfer coming from every part of the world to wave, those incredible giants. And this is Nazaré, right,
Yeah.
Joao?
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
this place? Have you been there on
But
this rock on the cliff? There are
absolutely.
people surfing. Have you been there?
Yes, and by the way, there are rumors that the biggest wave was taken in the last month. Okay, but still is not in the world records. So we are not
I,
100% sure. Higher
I was
than
like
the 30
30,
meters.
35 meters high
Yeah,
wave. It's
yeah,
incredible. Well, I know that what the reason those waves comes there so big because there is a I don't know how to say in English, falla, no, a
yeah.
falda behind the coast, so the waters pump up. So like this, and it's incredible. So let's understand, the influencers marketing process, how we can influence more people to go to Portugal. Give us some story around this, Patricia. You want me to open your slides? I know you have a nice slide
I think
here.
I'm sharing it. Yes.
Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
there you go. Well, the first thing is to understand what is influencer marketing, because influencer marketing is a marketing strategy in which brands work with social media influencers to promote their products or their services or even their experiences, such as in the hotel market. Brands partner with these influencers to reach their audiences in a more authentic and compelling way. So all the collaborations can range from sponsored social media posts, product reviews, attending brand events, to creating of specific content to promote this product or service. So this kind of marketing can be a really good and effective strategy for reaching specific audiences and build the brand trust as the followers tend to view influencers as trustworthy and credible figures. But however, it is important that collaborations between brands and influencers are authentic and transparent to avoid creating mistrust among the audiences. And what is this for? What is influencer marketing? First of all, for extending brand reach, influencers have established an engaged audience on social media. And by partnering with them, brands can reach a wider and more diverse audience that would otherwise be difficult to reach. Also, an influencer's followers tend to trust their recommendations and opinions, and working with relevant and authentic influencers, brands can build credibility and trust in their products and experiences with their audience. Also generate engagement. The influencers generated content is often more interactive and engaging for users than the traditional advertising. So this can generate higher levels of engagement, such as comments, likes, shares, and increasing brand visibility and relevance on social media. Of course, increased sales. Influencer marketing can influence the purchasing decisions of followers, potentially leading to increased sales of the promoted products or experience. And then to create authentic content, because influencers often create original and authentic content that resonates with their audience. So brands or the clients can benefit from this genuine content that is tailored to the influencer's style and voice, resulting in a more effective and less intrusive promotion. Then we need to know who they are. Influencers are individuals, are persons who have cultivated a significant social media presence on platforms such as Instagram or YouTube, TikTok, and others, LinkedIn, and have the ability to influence the opinions and, as I said, the purchasing decision and behaviors of their audience. They can be different types of and niche, and their influence can come from a variety of areas such as lifestyle, fashion, beauty, health, technology, travel, foods, and many others. And the common examples of influencers include these bloggers, fashion bloggers, or makeup artists, chefs, travelers, or even the experts in TV or radio personalities. And what sets an influencer apart is their capability to create engaging and relevant content of their audience, as well as their ability to build and maintain an engaged community on social media. Then type of influencers. First of all, that we need to know is there are two types of influencers. There are the influencers and the content creators. And the main focus, well, the difference between them is the focus of their work and the way they influence to their audience. Essentially, an influencer is someone who has built up a significant number of engaged followers in a particular niche or sectors. They have the power to influence the opinions and of course the decision maker decisions, and they are also known for their ability to shape public opinion and drive engagement, and are often targeted by brands for promotion collaborations. And on the other hand, we have a content creators is primarily focused on creating engaging, informative, and entertaining content within a specific niche also, but often driven by their creative passion and expertise. Content creators may not have a huge following, but they are very valued for the quality for their content and their ability to create valuable, in-depth in-depth resources. Whether a content creator or influencer is the best for your brand, it depends on the specific goals and expectations of your campaign. So you need to think about what you want to achieve, the nature of your product, service, or the experience, and then the audience you want to reach. And regarding the tiers, or categories of influencers, this may vary depending on the platform and the criteria used to classify influencers. They can go from VIPs, such as celebrities or athletes or well-known personalities, to nano influencer or emerging influencers, that are those who are just starting to gain significant followers and grow in their social media influence.
Patricia, on that quickly, it's a minefield when you're sitting in a hotel background. How are there tools to determine who's going to be the best influencer to get through the doors? Sitting from a hotel perspective, you get a lot of emails every day from influencers asking for free stays to come through to the properties. And I mean, I personally experienced where we had somebody come and stay, and their post went viral, and it was amazing. And you would never have imagined that was going to happen just from the request, right? And that sort of changed my entire perspective on it. But how do we make it easier for people, or what should people be looking at to determine if it's going to be worthwhile to give that complimentary room and have that influencer stay?
Well, the thing is that it's not really. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
How do we determine if it's going to be worthwhile to have a particular influencer?
You don't. The thing is that I will explain afterwards, because we have a lot of tools, and we had a lot of mechanisms to see how influencers are the right ones, or the content creators are the right ones for some experience or hotels or whatever, because you need to get in depth of this influencer data, because all around that, it's really important to get a great strategy and to know it's true that you can always see that you think that one influencer who has a lot of followers, you think that it's going to be the strategy is going to be amazing, and then the real audience of this influencer, it's not your target audience.
It's like promoting the wrong message to the wrong.
There you go. So this is so important. Yes, that's why the marketing teams in companies need to know really well why these influencers are going to be good for the strategy, or why not. So it's kind of curious, but the data it's there, so you can see that.
Cool.
Regarding the campaigns, there's just two type of campaigns: the organic campaigns and the paid ones. The difference: the organic, an influencer does not receive any payment for the content they generate. They make an exchange, sometimes an exchange a product or service offer with the influencers in exchange for free content to promote this product or service or experience. And on the other hand, you have the paid ones, campaigns that where the influencer is paid financially by the clients to promote these products or experience. But it is important to know that there are advantages and disadvantages in these two. This is not mean that one is the best or for the other. Sometimes it depends. A lot of companies, it depends on the budget you have and or the reach, how you want to get to your audience. So the advantages on organic campaigns, it's reach and visibility on social media networks. All the influencers have followers who trust them and are very interested in their content. So when they promote something organically, the message comes across more authentically and reliably that when it's a paid collaboration. The credibility and trust. All the followers tend to trust the recommendation of the influencers that they follow, because they feel that there is a personal connection with them. Of course, cost effectiveness. All these organic influencer campaigns are more cost effective and offer a higher return on investment, especially if the right influencer are carefully selected. This is important. So, and another thing is the long-term relationships. Having a good relationships with a influencer and asking them to work with you again can keep the brand in the minds of their audience for a long time. And influencers are very interested in providing quality content on their communities. So most of the time, the influencer will never badmouth the product or the service that are promoting. Disadvantages: there is no prior contract between the client and the influencer. You cannot demand anything from the influencer. That means that you don't not guaranteed that they will create a good content. They will only do so if they are happy with the service and only if they want to. You cannot ask them to create a specific type of content, such as reels or photo carousel or post or stories, or mention the brand or geolocate it, or add a certain text or hashtag. So you cannot require them to publish in a particular day or time. They decide when and what has to post. This is the difference between the paid campaigns. The advantages is you have a prior contract, so you can reach a wider audience because the content stays the time that you want on the profiles of their influencers. You can control the message and the content, because as there's a prior contract, there's a contract. You can define the type of publications, when you can request the time or the day that you want them to publish, and of course you can ask them also for metrics and tracking all and analyze all the data, because you can include clauses in the contract for this detailed tracking on campaign performance.
Which today is a key element. I mean, it's marketing is becoming like this. Anything can be trackable. Can I ask you something, Patricia? Can we step those parts and understanding which are the tools. Just going back to the Roxanne question, understand which are the right tool to use. We need
Well,
to.
in the next, I think in the next slide, it's
Yeah.
it's the tools, but I would say that for me, well, there's I can go to the next slide because here, yes. For me, well, there's some tools that there are many in the market that works on very detailed study of each influencer, verifying their authenticity and their audience, knowing the average reach, the interactions of their publications and stuff. And for me, I work with CallSquare. I think I would say that CallSquare and Tracker are the best ones in the market right now, because you can reach, you can see the type of content that influencer make, the results of all the content generated, the interest of the audience. This is very, very important. That sometimes we used to think that somebody with a lot of followers, this is the best, is going to be the best. And no, you need to know the interest of their audience, the number of the location of this this audience, the engagement rate, if they interact with their audience, the age range of their audience.
I think it's first they tell need to have a clear idea where they want to go, because they cannot target travelers that are not in line with the product. So
there you go, or the gender, or maybe the theme of the influencer's profile is all this data that you that you can be confident. You have everything like this, you can be confident that you are selecting the right group of influencers. It's important.
Let me, sorry to cut down, just because we are at the end. So I just want to make sure that now we understand how to we make more professional people in this industry to understand all those aspects, revenue, marketing, anything, right, Roxanne? So give us some lights. I'll pick you up the slides, so this way you can introduce the organization and what are the most relevant requirements to be a professional in the industry, right?
Yes, absolutely. So yes, back again on behalf of Edwards and Finn, up on the screen now is our wonderful team working across all of the commercial roles within hospitality. The key things to recognize with our team is that we've actually worked in hotels in these positions. So when we're recruiting for these roles, we can really dig deeply into the candidate's knowledge because we have the experience in the back end. So I'm going to leave up on the board live jobs for the moment, but I'm going to go back to what Enzo asked, is the skills that are being looked for in hospitality now across revenue, sales, and marketing, especially on what we've just spoken about. There is a lot of data coming in for the commercial team to be able to make decisions off. There are so many different avenues that you can market on, and just knowing where to spend your time and money is really important. But I think the biggest thing is the stakeholder management and understanding where to prioritize your focus. All of these positions, whether you're working in a head of commercial role, or even in a cluster revenue role, but then going into marketing, you have so many different avenues that you need to manage, and being able to prioritize which one's going to give you the biggest ROI, whether that's on the time spent or the actual money spent, is really important. And what a lot of our clients are looking for are experienced individuals that understand how to manage that, those analytical skills, to determine where they need to spend their time and drive the strategies for each of the positions. It is more and more now that the commercial teams are working closer and closer together, revenue management and marketing specifically, understanding your website performance, and then finding new ways to reach new target audiences through things like influencer marketing is so important. So yeah, we have quite a few roles available in revenue management, and we've got some more coming on with sales and marketing soon. But if anybody is looking for us to, or looking to get one of your jobs up on this board, please feel free to reach out to either myself or anybody in the team. We'd happily support trying to find those right candidates to make sure that they are in your team in order to fill those positions and make the most out of your commercial strategy to drive your property's performance, whether it be in sales, marketing, or revenue management.
Great. So very, very interesting. I was just looking at those salary, understanding if I should quit my job or stay where I am.
Yeah, we are working across Europe as well. So I know a lot of the positions you can see there are for the UK, but we would happily take on roles for locations across Europe. So if anybody is looking to get a job up on this board, yeah, please reach out and we'd happily do that very tailored search for you to find those right candidates that are able to, which have the right technical skills, analytical skills, communication skills to drive your property's performance forward in any of the commercial positions.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, it's obvious that the number of revenue managers is job offer is increasing, really.
Yeah.
As you said, this alignment with the sales and marketing department is crucial. So that's the set the new generation of revenue managers should have. So with different level of knowledge and background, and again, I always push you to because I see a lot of job opening around travel tech industry, the other side of the let's say, we have hotels and tech providers in the other side. I mean, if us tomorrow is looking for some talent, they need to post their job offer on their website, but they need also platform like you. So I invite you really to expand your job offers of the also side, right?
Brilliant. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are at the end. Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks, Patricia. Really interesting, this world of influencer. I'm sure that there is a lot of to share and discuss more in deep of this topic. Unfortunately, we have only limited time for the live streaming.
Sorry, I speak a lot. Sorry.
No, that's right. That's how it was very interesting, and of course, this required some interest, some understanding. Is not something so simple and just put it like that. Yeah. And thanks, Joao, for sharing more thoughts on the Portuguese market. So I'm sure now, if there is some travel tech following us, is going to build some particular strategy. Guys, if you don't use host PMS, come on. Or host hotel system. I mean, you have RMS, you have a PMS, you have a channel manager, booking engine, web design, CRM. I mean, they are not a one-stop shop place. They are not a classic only one solution. They have their own single products. If someone is interested only in BI analytics or in distribution or digital, direct booking and so on, they can really. They have the expertise to cover all those aspects. And if you are looking to next challenge job, get in touch with Roxanne for sure. Get in touch with her through LinkedIn, go to the website, check out the job offers. I'm sure that they can give you the right job match. Thanks again, guys. I wish you a great weekend. This is around the corner, and looking forward to the next episode. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
you.